It's Laura Eubanks of Design for Serenity with your succulent tip of the day, and it's twice yearly maintenance at the Pincus's in Coronado. And we've got some big things to do on this time around. We were here in January, dialed it all in. It's been 6 months. It's time to really work on these aloe grenadiensis. They're getting to be too much, and I've let them go as long as I possibly can, but our client has requested that we thin the herd. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with the Sawzall or with loppers and just cut in, take out some of the big heads, step back and see, how it looks. We may have to get in and dig the whole mess out and reset as cuttings, but because we've got other plant material in these beds too, I'm a little hesitant to do that. I just hope I don't have to work that hard. Over here, same thing. You can see how this is just become out of balance, that it's just too much grenadiensis. So same thing, we'll start cutting away and see what we're left with, but I think we're probably gonna have to dig the whole things out and reset as cuttings. Over here, the Mangave Jaguar, and this installation went in 4 years ago. So we have dug these out, cut and reset multiple times. This time around, I think we're good. We just want to kill the blooms, knock those out, trim the blooms off the cotyledon. Basically, all of these plants in the front have been cut and reset multiple times, and they just keep bouncing back and looking beautiful. And here, these agave attenuata, this was original to this garden, that and this citrus tree. So I didn't plant these, but they're just, again, they're too big. So we are going to take the Sawzall, we're going to cut these big heads, and we're going to move the smaller pups from the back into the front and rehome these bad boys over here. This all still looks great. On this side, over here, the aloe distans, look at this thing. This is so funny. How this guy's getting so tall, so tall. I see a couple of pups at the base. They're really small because I'm not loving this look. So I'm probably going to cut this off too and reset it. And the Bracteatus, I just am going to hit this with a 5-gallon bucket of water and it'll leaf out real quick. These just sometimes need a little extra support in the beginning of the warm season. And then, just like right in here, it's just... Oh yeah, a lot of the aeoniums bloomed out here, the sunbursts, and this is just, a hot mess. So this is going to have to be dug out, cleaned, and then we'll figure out something that we can reset in there. And I'm sure, there's plenty of options. This Euphorbia trigona, I love the shape, I love the size, but it got thrashed either with a fungus or with sunburn or I don't know what. Hey Nate, would you mind flipping this pot around? I think the solution might be, we'll see how it looks. Maybe we just need to flip it around. This will tell us if it's environmental damage. Oh, look at that, keep going. Yep, see, look at the back. Beautiful, thank you. Fixed it. Fantastic. So the back side looks great. We'll just go with that. Many of you that follow closely remember that we had a beautiful Desmediana Joe Hoke here that bloomed out, and I miss it. I don't love this. It looks like we stuck a Grenadiensis cutting in there and some curly jade, and ugh, I'm going to figure something else out here too because I'm not loving this. This Pharaoh cactus is stunning. It's got a rather large pup on the side too. That I love. But I'm going to keep my eyes open as we work through the garden and see if we can't figure out something else for there. What if we were just to take this pot O Tiracali and stick it there. That could work. We'll figure it out. This is just what happens with Echeveria over time. See how these get really, really trunky. The trunks get really thick, and then the beautiful rosettes just get smaller and smaller. So this is something else that we might want to find, see if we can find something prettier to put in this pot.
Where are you going to put your...
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. This I love. This is my Aloes and my Bracteus kalanchoes, my millii. This is about a 1 foot, 12-inch wide little flower bed. And I just think this is so pretty. Loving this. We've also planted the creeping fig. The client really likes it dense, but she wants to keep it contained. So we're going to keep it trimmed, you know, so it doesn't go up into the mosaics. Same here. Connie is only about 5 feet tall, so you can tell she can't quite reach. Also, she just doesn't love the bromeliads. I mean, this is a subjective thing. Yes, there's nothing wrong with the bromeliads, but she doesn't like them. So we're going to take those out, and I'm going to move one of those big agave attenuatas in here, along with some other things, and see if we can't reinvent this space too. We will also trim this creeping fig down as well. So this is the little back side courtyard. This gets basically no direct sun, just kind of filtered. You can see a little filtered sun coming through there. But these pilos, I just wasn't sure about these here due to the fact that it doesn't get a lot of sun, but they're gorgeous. They've retained their color. They don't have any diseases. They don't have any insect infestations. You can see the new growth right here that it took on. Oh, so pretty. Look at that. This is this most recent growing season. It looks like it put on about 6 inches of growth. Super happy. Even the jaguars, the grenadiensis, this, you know, just all tight, looks so cool. A little Orgealis and Sansevieria. These aeoniums, you know, I don't hate this wart cough here, but I think these are these Merlot? Yeah, maybe they need a little help. I feel like, yeah, this barrel cactus doesn't really work here anymore. It doesn't look very intentional. So that's something that might get dug up and moved to a new home. This trigona, stunning. Doesn't have any purple color. I believe this was a rubrum that I planted, but I think due to the lack of sun, it's just stayed pretty green, but it's really lovely. No complaints there. And then, you know, this is the money here. Charlie's beautiful mosaic. Everything else just supports that. He just recently finished this this cabinet. This is just like a potting bench and cupboard for Connie. He is just a brilliant artist with his mosaics. And she put together this beautiful little arrangement just with cuttings from the garden. So yeah, this is just a darling area. And then these pots look pretty good. You know, the agavoides needs deadheaded. And it looks like this pot could just benefit from a little grooming and a little extra H2O. You can kind of see how desiccated the crassula is. This is screaming for more to drink. I'm frankly surprised that this Euphorbia lambii didn't lose its leaves from the drought, but whatever. Happy. And this little pachypodium, this pot just needs to be turned. Just 1/4 turn. It's looking like it's trying to reach for the sun. It's a little askew. So we'll just give that a turn. And over here, you know, this little bed, we have reinvented many times. Again, you know, the sunburst aeonium, these arboretums need to be cut and reset. We've got another barrel cactus in here that I actually like, but I think we might pull out this Crassula ovata to let it breathe a bit. This feels a little too cramped right now. And then, of course, just a little weeding here at the step that goes down to the side of the property. We got our hands full. Nice, Kat, yeah. Might as well right, so we are done for another 6 months. Wow. Oh, I just love these maintenances. So I'm sure you can tell what Hannah did in here. She took out the aloe that was in the back. We just left that for them to gift to a neighbor or relative. It was a beautiful plant, but we didn't need it in there. The aeonium sunbursts got reset. They look so nice. And Hannah also cleared up some things that were crowding this barrel cactus and just stuck them back in the ground, did all the weeding and limbing up of the cotyledon, and this is just like a shiny new penny. Then the pots also just got a really good dousing of water. We turned the Pachypodium barrel combo. And I'm going to instruct the client to be a little more liberal with the irrigation. Things did seem a bit dry, and this is Coronado, and we are on sand here, so the water really goes through in a great big hurry. Then in this little section, we just reset the Aeonium merlots. A few of the aloes got thinned and reset. We weeded, knocked out the mangave blooms, and tightened up this little stand of aeonium here. Decided to let these ride because they're just kind of cool and interesting, and then deadheaded the mangave in the back. Then this is brand new. Took out all of the bromeliads. I added a barrel cactus from the back that was kind of lost. And we took one of the giant agave attenuatas and popped it right in here in the middle. You can see here where, these plants are just a little water stressed. Okay, this shade is a lot water stressed. So I soaked it with the hose really, really well. This quadricolor I moved over here from the front last 6 months ago, and we just keep it depupped so that we just have a beautiful mama plant. And the only thing that we had to do in here was a little weeding and detritus removal. This has just never been an issue. This is just done fantastic all by itself. Out here is where we spent most of our time. We moved the Tiricali into this spot, and I'm so happy with that. I just think that is fantastic. You remember the other day when we had to do the river rock at Joe Jean's in Chula Vista? We had a little left. So I pulled in a little bit of river rock in here where the bird's eye brown was a little light. That's a rock that I can't get right now, so we just top dressed with a little bit of river rock. I tightened up this area in here, reset some of the sedums. I moved the pharaoh cactus back, planted out some cuttings there. These aloe starry nights, I was able to pull out stands of them and replace and spot them around in, use cuttings in areas. Over here, thinned out the blue elf, stuck a crassula ovata cutting in. This is an example of where I took out a bunch of rudicope and just placed a few starry nights in their place. I moved this barrel cactus down. It was way back there and kind of lost. And after we took out the two big mama attenuatas, we got lucky. We didn't have to dig it all out. This looks great just as is. So we just moved a rock in front. You may remember that this blue and white pot was over there, and it just, with this Orgealis getting so big, it looked unbalanced. So I moved it here, and I think that's a fantastic pop of color. Over here, dialed in these aloes, cut down that disc stands. Kevin did a really great job tightening up these aeoniums and aloes. We watered the heck out of the bracteatus, as well as these plants right in here that look a little water stressed. And then I just laced out the portulacaria a little bit. And, we turned the pot of trigona, and that was pretty much all that we needed to do here. Then Hannah spent a really long time, but it needed doing, in this area at the street level. We ended up taking out the granadiensis and replacing cuttings. It just looks so tight, so much more contained. and in balance. I made a decision this time not to mess with the stand of jaguar. We did dig it all up and reset a bunch of them last time we were here 6 months ago, and I think these are going to be just fine for another 6. So this was just pulling out leaves from this Cupaniopsis tree. The detritus just hits like crazy. I have never seen a happier milii ever in my life as that one right there, and I'm just feeling really emotional about it. No, I'm not. The water went down the wrong pipe. I'm like choking on myself right now, but I'll be fine. This thing is just spectacular. It is a ready red. And that was pretty much it, other than resetting the Grenadiensis and watering everything in really well. We just basically had to take a blower here to the leaves and detritus because there was just so much of it. So now we are gathering up all of our tools and all of the leaves and detritus and roots and stumps and branches that were no bueno. And we are ready to tackle yet another maintenance here on the island tomorrow. So we will see you then. Bye, guys.